All right, Fresh. Let's go to our next game. This one is an exciting one. I love this game here because it's the Pop Tarts Bowl. Gotta love Pop Tarts Bowl. It is the North Carolina Wolfpack out of the ACC. They're 9-3 on the season and facing the Kansas State Wildcats, 8-4 on the year. A little bit of a disappointing year for Kansas State there out of the Big 12. Right now, here is our current projection of who is going to be kind of sitting out for this game. Kansas State has lost their offensive coordinator. Will Howard is in the transfer portal. Ward, the running back, he is out as well. I know he's not the primary running back, but he has gotten a kind of like that spellback feature behind Gittens. You take a look at Brooks is opt out. This is, I think, probably the biggest one. All-American guard Cooper Beebe is a potential opt-out according to this right now. They haven't said it for sure. Sanat is out as well. There's a couple of guys over there on the defensive side of the ball as well that looks like they will be out. And then for North Carolina, it is not a lot of their big names are out for this. A couple of guys who are contributors, but no one of the big name that you're taking a look at. So like NC State, they're still going to have Brennan Armstrong is right now projected to play. You take a look at their leading rusher on the season right now. Sama, he looks like he's going to play in this. Their leading wide receivers are going to play in it. So, good job at NC State there. And most importantly for them, Peyton Wilson is playing in this game. He was a potential opt-out. He has said that he is playing in this game as a time record. Time of record right now, Kansas State is a 3-point favorite in this game here, Fresh. All right, I'll turn it over to you, buddy. What do you got for me? Kansas State versus NC State.
Well, 2 years ago when NC State and Devin Lear was healthy, they were supposed to play UCLA out there in the Holiday Bowl, and UCLA pulled COVID stuff. Some people call it shenanigans the day of, cost them a chance to get 10 wins. Bet you $1 million right now that the only thing they've talked about since they got that 9th win and that season completed was, we're not letting this game get away from us. We are prepared to get ourselves a 10-win season. NC State fans are well aware that 10-win seasons do not come along very often. Haven't had one, I believe, since the days of T.A. McClendon, Phillip Rivers, Chuck the Chest Amato back in the day. Like, it's been a while. Peyton, Phillip Rivers had, maybe one kid at a time. He has, 10, 11 now? So it's definitely been a minute. This means something to NC State to go out there and get 10 wins in the ACC. And kind of, they always get overshadowed, no matter what sport it is, by Carolina or Duke or Florida State or Clemson. They're just sort of there in Raleigh. And they take offense to that. They have a lot of pride in who they are. And I got a feeling it's been reverting through the entire locker room, through the practice facility. 10 wins means something. And this team is going to be focused. You're down in Orlando, Pop Tarts Bowl. Winning team gets to eat a live, like a huge, massive Pop Tart. This is going to come down to it. Brennan Armstrong, you're going through your 12th doctorate right now from between Virginia and NC State. You're a pretty smart dude, those degrees you got. And this is your last opportunity. Will you probably go to the NFL? I highly doubt it. You might be a backup. Could you play in Canada? Probably. But this is your last real chance to show up and show out. You had a heck of a run at Virginia. You got off to a rough start here at NC State. You have a chance to air it all out here, become an NC State hero, get a 10 wins, and go in and cap off a pretty amazing college career. Go out there and just let it loose. Don't play tight. Don't play loose. Don't play scared. Play loose. Fire it up. Throw the ball around, especially to Concepcion, your big-time receiver. Get them all involved early. Kansas State right now, they're a wounded animal. They don't have all their stars really playing. Can't take them lightly, because Coach Klieman gets those Wildcats ready to play. And they're a very tough and physical football team. But you have a chance here to really accomplish something special. So enjoy the moment. Go out there and grasp it. Throw it around. Take advantage of some of the speed you have. But you're a tough football team. Peyton Wilson, one of the arguably best linebacker via awards, whatever you want to call it. The dude's a stud. And that entire defense, if they can show up and get some tackles, you're going against Avery Johnson on their side for Kansas State, not Will Howard. Running back room's a little depleted. Sinet, you mentioned, not playing in the game. Like, there are opportunities for NC State to get this done. Do not overlook the moment. Balance your offense, running game, throwing game. Brennan has great legs, being able to use that mobility in the pocket, keep extending plays, use that. play to your strengths in the football game. Take chances, be aggressive, go out there and try to attack the Wildcats. On the other side, there's a lot of new faces for casual fans for Kansas State. They've been watching this football game and trying to check in, like, all right, who's the next guy up? Who's the next player? Avery Johnson Howard sort of changed out, throughout the entire season this past year. So there's definitely experience. He is the future at quarterback going forward. Giddens there at running back. You mentioned Ward not playing. Giddens going to get the full load. Who's going to be that number 2 is going to fill in and get the spell backs? Who's going to be the go-to receiver on third down for this entire Wildcat offense? How's this offensive line, if BB does play, do you guys have that pride to own the trenches and get after it and be Midwest tough? If BB doesn't play, who fills that gap? And then defensively, Kansas State's always a little scrappy. They're not going to be a complete shutdown defense where you're going to only give up 8 points a game. And they're not Iowa, but they'll tackle in the open field, and they always have been. How do you guys come out here and shut down some of the mobile quarterback situation and little flashy receivers that NC State has? You're going to have to play within yourselves. Who wants roster spots? Who wants to compete? I think that's where the end of this bowl game is really who is going to compete for a win. There's so many questions, so many guys in and out, but a lot of guys have others to play for. Who's going to compete for each other, for their team, for your conference pride, and for a Pop-Tart? I think it means a little bit more to NC State right now just because that 10 wins is something really special. It's probably been banging through the entire locker room for a while now. I'm going to take NC State to win this football game. I think they are going to win 27-15, 27-14, excuse me. It'll be a battle. They'll pull away in the fourth quarter. It'll be a nice little fight. It'll be a good bowl game, but I think NC State and the advantage just has too much, and they will find a way to get the W and eat the Pop-Tart in the end.
Fresh, we've been great to this entire state of Kansas these last 2 years. Kansas, whether it's the Jayhawks or the Wildcats, they've been so supportive of this podcast here. And I got to show a lot of love for them because it just stinks that this is the world that we're living in. Because if Will Howard and Cooper Beebe and everyone was playing in this game for the Wildcats, I think Kansas State would kind of they may put the boots to NC State, and they may put it up where I think it's 35-10 at halftime if all those guys were playing. But they're not. And it really is tough. And, I talked about in our earlier episode about, John Denver Country Roads. And I went back again, it's perfect here. Another musician, the band Kansas, wrote a song, Dust in the Wind. And at the end of it, it says, now don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away. And all your money won't another minute buy there. And I think those are powerful lyrics here for college football here, Fresh, because I think that it speaks for Kansas where they're going to and losing all of this talent here. And then NC State. No one predicted NC State to have a possible 10-win season. This is everything the Wolfpack could possibly want. This is a Wolfpack party. It slips away. Peyton Wilson's career at NC State is now dust in the wind. He's going off to the NFL. He is going to be one of the top linebackers in the NFL draft going into the season. Jalen Scott, another great NFL linebacker. These are moments that as things are changing, if I'm a Wolfpack fan, again, we talked about West Virginia and West Virginia enjoying this season. If I'm NC State, we're playing with house money. A 10-win season for us. No one picked that. No one sat there and said, oh, this UVA transfer Brennan Armstrong is going to deliver us a 10-win season. Most people were happy to say, you might get 6-6 in a bowl game. Maybe if the ball bounces the right way, okay, 7-5, 8-4 if you have a really great year. Man, NC State, you got a chance at 10 wins here. I like NC State in this football game here, Fresh. I like Brennan Armstrong. I think the senior leadership that is playing for the Wolfpack at this time is going to be a huge deal for them. I think they're going to go out. They're going to win one for the team. This team is going to come together in this football game. I'm interested to see what they do. I'm interested to see how they win in this football game. And I'm interested to see what kind of NC State does going forward from here on out. Great win by them. I think that they're going to eat a Pop-Tart. Fresh, what's your favorite type of Pop-Tart?
Strawberry with the frosted strawberry.
Really? Over like the brown sugar one and the
No, that's
s'mores
no.
one?
Give me frosted strawberry or blueberry or raspberry. Those are the top for me.
Fresh likes the fruit one, so yeah. Okay. They're not bad.